thought you lost another one.
Anyway, all praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. First and foremost, as always, as usual, we're going to give all honor, all glory, all praises to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob through his only begotten Son, Jesus the Christ. Secondly, I want to say to all my brothers and sisters out there of the 12 tribes of Israel, Shalom. My name is Chief Priest Lethiel.
Shabbat Shalom, Israel. My name is Priest Ron Ben Israel.
And we are with the Holy Nation of Israel. And we're back again, yo. But before we get started, I do want to say to all my brothers and sisters, check us out on Strait of Israel on YouTube. Check us out on Holy Nation of Israel on Facebook. You can find me at Lethiel Ben Israel on Facebook. You can find my bro, where?
Ron Ben Israel on Facebook.
You can find us both on Facebook. So look us up, man. Check out the videos, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And now, I also want to say to my brothers and sisters out there, get your Bibles, get your Apocryphas, and read along with us if you can. Get your notebooks, get your paper, get your pens, get your pencils. Take notes if it's in your spirit. Lord's will, this is going to be another edifying class. The title of this class is Christ and the Magnified and Honorable Law. And we're going to open up in the book of Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8.
The book of Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. This book of the law.
This book of the law. The Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, is known as the book of the law. Read it again.
This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
Read.
But thou shalt meditate therein.
How long?
Day and night.
How often?
Day and night.
You shall meditate in the book of the law day and night. Read.
That thou mayest observe to do according.
That thou mayest observe to do according to what?
To all that is written therein.
That thou mayest observe, meaning learn, to do or apply all that is written in the book of the law. You are to meditate in the book of the law day and night so that you learn how to apply all the things that are written in the book of the law. Keep reading, priest.
For then,
read.
Thou shall make thy word, shall make thy way prosperous.
For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous. Read.
And
then read.
Thou shalt have good success.
And then thou shalt have good success. If you meditate in the book of the law day and night, if you observe and learn how to do and apply all the things that are written in the book of the law, you will have success. You will have prosperity, yo. Give me the book of Sirach chapter 10. Prosperity is in the hands of the Lord. Prosperity, once again, prosperity is in the hands of the Lord. Give me the book of Sirach chapter 10 and verse 5, priest.
The book of Sirach chapter 10 starting at verse 5.
Read.
In the hand of God is the prosperity of men.
Read it again.
In the hand of God.
In the hand of God. In the hand of the Lord. Read.
Is the prosperity of men.
In the hand of God is the prosperity of man. Read.
And upon the person of the scribe,
and upon the person of the scribe, read,
shall he lay his honor.
shall the Lord lay his honor. In the hand of God is the prosperity of man. Go to the book of Sirach chapter 14. Sirach chapter 14, and I want verse 20.
The book of Sirach, chapter 14, starting at verse 20.
Read.
Blessed is the man that doth meditate good things and wisdom.
Blessed is the man, or blessed are those that meditate day and night in the book of the law. Blessed is the man, or blessed are those that meditate day and night in good things and wisdom, yo. And those good things of wisdom are found in the book of the law. Read it again, priest.
Blessed is the man that doth meditate good things and wisdom.
Read.
And that reasoneth of holy things by his understanding.
And blessed is the man that reasoneth of holy things by his understanding. So let's go ahead and jump into the lesson. Give me Isaiah chapter 42. The lesson once again is entitled Christ in the Magnified and Honorable Law. Give me the book of Isaiah chapter 42. And let's start at verse 1.
The book of Isaiah chapter 42, starting at verse 1.
Read.
Behold my servant.
Behold my servant. Read.
Whom I uphold. My elect. In whom my soul delighteth.
Read.
I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles.
Who is the servant? Who is the servant in whom the Lord uphold? Who is his elect? Whom is the man in whom the spirit or the soul of God delighteth, yo? Give me the book of Matthew chapter 12, yo. Give me Matthew 12. Who is that man that had the spirit of the Lord upon him? Who is the man that is going to bring forth and show judgment unto the Gentiles? Give me Matthew 12 and 14. But before you begin, I want to catch brothers up on the story because I don't want to read the whole thing. This is after Christ healed or restored the withered hand of a blind man on the Sabbath day. Give me the book of Matthew chapter 12 and read verse 14.
The book of St. Matthew chapter 12, starting at verse 14. Then the Pharisees went out and held a council against him, how they might destroy him. But when Jesus knew it, he withdrew himself from thence, and great multitude followed him, and he healed them all.
Great multitudes followed Christ, and he healed them all. Read.
And charged them.
And he charged the multitudes that followed him. Read.
That they should not make him known.
That they should not make him known. He commanded the multitudes not to make him known. Keep reading.
That it might be fulfilled.
That it might be fulfilled. Read. Read up a little bit. Read.
Which was spoken by Isaiah.
Which was spoken by Isaiah. Isaiah is the transliterated name for Isaiah. The Greek transliterated name of Isaiah. Read that part again.
Which was spoken by Isaiah.
Read.
The prophet.
Read.
Saying.
Saying what?
Behold my servant, whom I have chosen, my beloved, and whom my soul is well pleased. I will put my spirit upon him, and he shall show judgment to the Gentiles.
Let's go back to the book of Isaiah chapter 42. Let's go back to Isaiah chapter 42, and I want verse 1 again.
The book of Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 1. Behold my servant.
Behold my servant. The servant is Christ. Keep reading.
Whom I uphold.
Whom I uphold. The Lord upheld Christ. Keep reading.
My elect.
Christ is the elect. Read.
And whom my soul delights.
The soul of the Father delights in Christ. Keep reading.
I have put my spirit upon him.
The spirit of the Lord was upon Christ. Keep reading.
He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles.
And Christ shall bring and show forth judgment to the Gentiles. Jump over to verse 21. Verse 21.
21. But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Hold up. Verse 21.
I'm in 22, so my bad. 21. The Lord is well pleased for his righteousness'
The
sake.
Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. The Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He's well pleased of his servant, his elect, the one in whom his soul delighteth. He is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. You read?
He will magnify the law.
He will magnify the law. The elect of God will magnify the law. The one in whom the Spirit of the Lord is upon, he will magnify the law. In case you don't remember, the he is Jesus the Christ. Read that part again.
He will magnify the law.
He will magnify the law and what?
And make it honorable.
And he will make it honorable. He will magnify the law, which is to expand or expound upon or broaden the understanding of. He will magnify the law and make it honorable. Let's go to the book of Matthew chapter 4. Let's go to Matthew chapter 4, yo. Give me Matthew chapter 4 and let's start at verse 23. The prophecy is that the Lord, Jesus the Christ, would come and magnify the law and make that law honorable, yo. Give me the book of St. Matthew chapter 4 and verse 23.
The book of St. Matthew chapter 4 and verse 23.
Read.
And Jesus went about all Galilee, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom.
Read.
And healing all manner of sickness and all manner of disease among the people.
The Lord was doing the work. Keep reading.
And his fame went throughout all Syria.
Jesus Christ was a famous man. His renown, his fame, his name went throughout all Syria. Jesus Christ was a famous man, a well-known man. Keep reading.
And they brought upon him all sick people.
And they brought to Christ all the sick. Keep reading.
That were taken with diverse diseases.
That were taken with diverse or different types of diseases. Read.
And torments.
And different or diverse types of torments. Read.
And those which were possessed with devils.
And those that were possessed with devils or unclean spirits. Read.
And those which were lunatics.
And those that were lunatic. Those that had mental disorders, mental diseases. Read.
And those that had the palsy.
And those that had the palsy. The palsy is paralysis. Paralysis is the loss of the ability to move part or most of your body. He was healing those that had the palsy as well. Keep reading.
And he healed them.
And he healed them all. Keep reading.
And there followed him great multitude from Galilee and from
Decapolis,
and from Jerusalem and from Judea and from beyond Jordan.
Keep reading.
Chapter 5 and 1.
Read.
And seeing the multitude, he went up into a mountain.
And seeing the multitudes, Christ went up into a mountain. Read.
And when he was set, his disciples came unto him.
And when he was set there, his disciples came unto him. Read.
He opened his mouth and taught them.
And
saying,
he opened his mouth and taught them. Christ began to teach. He began to teach. Now, we're not going to go into the Beatitudes. We'll do that a whole nother time. That's a different lesson. What we're going to go into is the magnified law. We're going to go into what Christ was teaching in regards to the commandments, in regards to the law. Jump down to verse 21. Let's start here.
21. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time.
You have heard that it was said in old time. Read.
Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not kill. Right? Give me that. Hold this and give me this. Give me Exodus 20. You have heard that it was said in old time, thou shalt not kill. Right? Well, let's read it anyway. Whether you heard it or you haven't heard it. We're going to read it today. Give me Exodus chapter 20.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20,
verse 13.
13.
Bring it out, priest.
Thou shalt not kill.
Read it again.
Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not kill. Give me Deuteronomy 5. Give me Deuteronomy 5. Let's read it there. Let's be redundant. Let's beat a dead horse for a second. Let's beat a dead horse. Give me Deuteronomy 5 and 17.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5, verse 17.
Read.
Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not kill. It's written very plainly, yo. Thou shalt not kill. Go back to the book of Matthew 5 and verse 21.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 21. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time.
Hey, Moses told you in time past. Keep reading.
Thou shalt not kill.
Moses told you in time past. Thou shalt not kill. Read.
And whosoever shall kill.
And whosoever shall kill. Read.
Shall be in danger of the judgment.
That man or woman is in danger of the judgment. Hold this and give me Genesis 9. Give me Genesis chapter 9. What is the judgment for a murderer? What is the judgment for a killer? Give me Genesis 9 and 6.
The book of Genesis chapter 9 and verse 6.
Read.
Whoso shed of man's
No, my
blood.
fault. Read it again.
Whoso shed a man's blood.
Whosoever sheddeth man's blood. Read.
By man.
By who?
By man.
Read.
Shall his blood be shed.
By man shall his blood be shed. Keep reading.
For in the image of God.
For in the image of God. Read.
Made he man.
For in the image of God made he man. He's telling you what type of man. He's telling you what type of man thou shalt not kill, yo. Thou shalt not kill that man that was made in the image of God. Give me the book of Exodus chapter 21 verse 12. And if you shed man's blood, then by man shall your blood be shed. Give me the book of Exodus chapter 21 and verse 12, priest. We're still dealing with the judgment for a killer. The judgment for those that break that law that's written plainly, thou shalt not kill. Read, priest.
The book of Exodus chapter 21 and verse 12. He that smiteth a man. So that he die.
So that he what?
So that he die.
Keep reading.
Shall be surely put to death.
Shall surely be put to death. Give me the book in give me Leviticus. Leviticus 24. He that smiteth a man so that he die shall surely be put to death, yo. He that smiteth a man so that he die shall surely be put to death. Read it here. Leviticus 24, 17.
The book of Leviticus chapter 24 verse 17. And he that killeth any man shall surely be put to death.
He that killeth any man shall surely be put to death. Go back to Matthew 5. Go back to Matthew 5 and let's read verse 21 again.
The book of St. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 21. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time.
Moses told you in time past, read.
Thou shalt not kill.
That thou shalt not kill, read.
And whosoever shall kill.
And whosoever shall kill, read.
Shall be in danger of the judgment.
The judgment for a murderer, the judgment for a killer is death. He or she, him or her, that transgress that commandment that says thou shalt not kill, shall be killed. That's the judgment for a murderer. That's the judgment for a killer, yo. Keep reading, priest.
22. But I say unto you.
What Christ say?
But I say unto you.
That
whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause.
Whosoever is angry with his brother or sister without a cause. Without a cause is to be without reason, yo. And the only cause that you have to be angry with your brother or your sister is if your brother or sister sinned against you. Read it again, priest.
From the top.
From the top.
But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment.
Whosoever is angry with his brother or sister without a cause, without a reason, is in danger of the judgment. What judgment? The judgment for a murderer. The judgment for a killer, yo. Keep reading, priest.
And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah.
Whosoever shall say to his brother or sister, Rakah, thou vain fellow, without a cause, read.
Shall be in danger of the council.
That man or woman is in danger of the council. Keep reading, priest.
But whosoever shall say, thou fool.
Whosoever shall say, thou fool, to his or her brother or sister. Whosoever shall say to his or her brother or sister, you're a dummy, you're stupid, read. For no reason, without cause, read.
Shall be in danger of hell fire.
That man or woman is in danger of hellfire, yo. Do you know why you're in danger of the judgment? Or you're in danger of the council? Or you're in danger of hellfire if you hate your brother? If you're angry with your brother without cause? Or if you say rakah to your brother without cause? Or if you say thou fool to your brother without cause? Do you know why? That's because you hate your brother, yo. Or you hate your sister. The only people that are angry with their brothers or their sisters without cause are people that hate their brothers or their sisters, yo. The only people that says to their brother or their sister, rakah, without cause, without reason, are people that hate their brothers or their sisters. The only ones that say, thou fool, without cause, without reason, are brothers or sisters that hate their own people. Give me the book of 1 John chapter 3 and verse 15. Give me 1 John chapter 3 and verse 15, priest.
book of 1 John, chapter 3 and verse 15. Whosoever hateth his brother.
Whosoever hateth his or her brother or sister. Whosoever hateth his or her brother or sister. You hate your brother and or your sister when you're angry with them without cause. You hate your brother or your sister when you say rakah to them without cause. You hate your brother or your sister when you say thou fool without cause, yo. Read it again.
Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer.
Is a what?
Is a murderer.
Whoever hates his brother or his sister, you're a murderer, yo. And you know what's waiting for the murderer? The council, the judgment, and hellfire. Let me say it to you again. If you hate your brother or your sister, you are a murderer. And the only thing waiting for you is the council, the judgment for a murderer, and hellfire, yo. Read it one more time and read it all the way through.
Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer. And ye know that no murderer have eternal life abiding in him.
You know no murderer has eternal life abiding in him, yo. Go back to the book of Matthew chapter 5. So once again, to be angry with your brother or your sister without cause is to hate your brother or sister. To say rakah to your brother or sister without cause is to hate your brother or sister. To say thou fool to your brother or sister without cause is to hate your brother or your sister. And if you hate your brother or your sister, you are a murderer. You're in danger of the council, the judgment, and hellfire. And you do not have eternal life abiding in you. Let's go back to the book of Matthew chapter 5 and let's read verse 27.
The book of Matthew. St. Matthew chapter 5, starting at verse 27. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery.
You have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery, right? Well, if you haven't heard it, guess what? We're going to read it for you, yo. We're going to read it for you right now so you can be without excuse. Give me that in Exodus 20 and 14, priest.
The book of Exodus chapter 20, starting at verse 14.
Read.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Thou shalt not commit adultery. Give me Deuteronomy 5. Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 18.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 18.
Uh-huh.
Neither shalt thou commit adultery.
Neither shalt thou commit adultery. What is adultery? Give me Leviticus 18. What is adultery according to the Bible, according to the word of God? Leviticus 18 and 20.
The book of Leviticus chapter 18, starting at verse 20.
Uh-huh.
Moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife.
Moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife, yo. To lie carnally with your neighbor's wife is to have sex with your neighbor's wife. To have sex with your neighbor's wife is adultery. That's adultery. Go back to the book of Matthew chapter 5 and let's read verse 27 again.
The book of St. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 27. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time.
You heard Moses tell you in time past, read.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
You heard Moses tell you in time past, thou shalt not commit adultery. Can you read?
But I say unto you.
What did Christ say?
But I say unto you.
Christ said, but I say unto you, read.
That whosoever look upon a woman.
That whosoever looketh upon a woman. What type of woman? A single woman? A woman that's not betrothed? A woman that's not promised? A woman that's not married? Or is this talking about a married woman? Read it again, priest.
Verse 28. But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her, have committed adultery.
Have done what?
Have committed adultery.
Read.
With her already in his heart.
Have committed adultery already with her in his heart. If a man looketh upon a woman, what type of woman? This is talking about a man looking on a married woman. A man looking on a married woman, lusting after her in his mind. Thinking about having sex with her in his mind. This is what this is talking about. If a man even looks upon another man's wife, he has committed adultery with her already in his heart. When I say look, I mean look to want to have sex with her. He has committed adultery with her already in his heart. You want to say something, priest?
No, you good.
All praises, all praises. Let's keep going. Matter of fact, what's the judgment for an adulterer? Hold that and give me Leviticus 20 and 10. Let's not move past that. What is the judgment for an adulterer? What is the judgment for a man that lies down with another man's wife, yo? Let's find out. Read that.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20, starting at verse 10. And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife.
The man that committeth adultery with another man's wife. Read.
Even he that committeth adultery
this man that committed adultery, read.
With his neighbor's wife.
With his neighbor's wife, read.
The adulterer.
The adulterer, that brother, read.
And the adulteress.
And the sister, read.
Shall surely be put to death.
The judgment for an adulterer is death, yo. The judgment for an adulterer is death. Let's go back to the book of Matthew chapter 5. Matthew chapter 5, and let's get verse 29.
The book of Matthew chapter 5 and verse 29. If thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out.
If your right eye offends you, pluck it out, yo. Read.
Pluck it out and cast it from thee.
And cast that thing away. Read.
For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members shall perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell.
It's more profitable for you that one of your members perish, and instead of your whole body being cast into hellfire. Read the next verse.
And if thy right hand offend,
and if your right hand offends you, read.
Cut it off.
Hey, cut that thing off, read.
And cast it from thee.
And cast it away from you, read.
For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members shall perish.
Because it's profitable for you that only one of your members should perish, read.
And not that thy whole body.
And not that your whole body, read.
Shall be cast into hell.
Shall be cast into hell. Shall be cast into a lake of fire. Question: What is your right eye? What is your right hand? What is your right eye and your right hand that you might have to that might cause offense? What is that? What is that making reference to? What is the right eye that might cause you to offend? That right eye you might have to pluck out. What is that right hand that may cause you to offend? That right hand you might have to cut off. What is Christ talking about? Hold this and give me Deuteronomy 13. Deuteronomy chapter 13. Let's start at 6.
Deuteronomy chapter 13, starting at verse 6. If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son, or thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is as thy own soul.
Your right eye, your right hand is making reference to your brother, your sister, your father, your mother, your son, your daughter, your wife, or your best friend. That's even as your own soul. These people represent your right eye. These people represent your right hand. Keep reading, priest.
Own soul, entice thee.
If they entice you, read.
Secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which thou hast not known, thou nor thy fathers.
If your brother, your sister, your father, your mother, your son, your daughter, your wife, your best friend, if they entice you secretly to go worship other gods that you don't know, your fathers don't know, if they entice you secretly to do this, keep reading.
Namely, of the gods of the people which are round about you.
If they entice you to go and worship the gods of the people that are round about you. And I don't know, I know where we are here in America. All people are round about us. All people of all nations are round about us. We live in Mystery Babylon the Great, the city of nations, the great melting pot. All people are round about us, yo. All of them. Chinese people, Japanese people, who else? Damn, you already know
Korean.
Caucasians, Korean, all of these goddamn people are around about us.
Korean.
Read that part again, priest. Verse 7.
My bad, bro. My page, what was that doing?
Deuteronomy 13 and 7.
Like, namely, of the gods of the people which are round about you.
Read.
Nigh unto thee.
Whether those people and their gods be near unto us, read.
Or far off from thee.
Or whether they be far from us, read.
from the one end of the earth,
from one end of the earth, read,
even unto the other end of the earth.
even unto the other end of the earth, read.
Thou shalt not consent unto
You
him,
do not agree to that, yo. Read.
nor hearken unto him.
You don't even listen to it. You don't even give it a minute. Read.
Neither shall thy eye pity.
You don't pity that man. You don't pity that person anymore. Whatever happens to that person from that moment forward is whatever happens to him, yo. If they try to get you to go worship white man Jesus and then God just sent a bus and smack them, that's on them. Your eye don't pity him. Keep reading.
Neither shall thy spare, neither shall thy conceal him.
You don't spare him and you don't hide him. You don't spare him and you do not hide him. Read.
But thou shalt surely kill him.
But thou shalt what?
Surely kill him.
Thou shalt surely kill him. Under Moses, it's get the rocks. Under Moses, it's get the rocks. Under Moses, if your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your best friend, your wife, your husband, I don't give a damn who it is, auntie, cousin, whoever it is. Under Moses, if they come and try to get you to worship white man Jesus, Buddha, Allah, under Moses, it's get the rocks and kill them.
Not Nana.
Even Nana, Big Mama too, get the rocks and kill them. Kill the infant, kill them all. It don't matter. Whoever try to point you to another God, under Moses, is get the rocks and kill them. But under Christ, it's pluck the right eye. It's pluck that right eye out. Under Christ, it's just cut the right hand off. That's all it is. Meaning cast them away from you. Keep reading. Read it again.
Verse 9. But thou shalt surely kill him. Thy hand shall be first upon him.
Your hand should be first upon him. Read.
Shall be first upon him. To put him to death.
Your hand is supposed to be the first one on him to put him to death. Today, you're supposed to be the first one that cuts him off. That cuts him or her off. If they cause offense, the offense would be to lead you towards another God, which is no God at all. That would be the offense. And if they try to cause that offense today, you don't kill them, but your hand should be first to cut them off. Keep reading.
And afterwards, the hand of all the people.
And afterward, under Moses, the hand of all the people would be on that person to kill him. But under Christ today, the hand of all the people is to cut them off. Keep reading.
10. And thou shalt stone them with stones.
And thou shalt stone him with stones. That's why I said earlier, it'd be get the rocks. Because the scripture is stone him or her with stones. Read it again.
Verse 10. And thou shalt stone him with stones, that he die.
That he or she die. Read.
Because he hath sought to thrust thee away from the Lord thy God.
He or she has caused offense. They have tried to cause you to offend against the Lord thy God. Keep reading, priest.
Because he hath sought to thrust thee away from the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Read.
From the house of bondage.
Keep reading.
And all Israel
read.
shall hear and fear.
All Israel shall hear and fear. Read.
Shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this is
among you. So let's go back to the book of Matthew chapter 5. Let's go back to Matthew chapter 5. The right eye and the right hand. The right eye and the right hand is making reference to your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, your wife, your husband, your best friend, that's even as your own soul. And if one of these people cause offense or causes you to offend, Christ said, pluck it out. Pluck that right eye out or cut that right hand off. It is better for one member to perish than for your whole body to be cast into hell. And that hell is a hellfire, a great lake of fire. Let's go back to the book of Matthew 5 and let's read verse 31.
The book of St. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 31. It hath been said, whosoever should put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement.
It hath been said, whosoever will put away his wife, let him give her a bill of writing of divorcement. Let's read that. Deuteronomy 24 and 1. Let's read about that.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 24 and verse 1. When a man have taken a wife and married her, And it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes,
Read.
because he have found some uncleanness in her. Then let him write her a bill of divorcement.
Then let him write her a bill of divorcement. Read.
And give it in her hand.
And put it in her hand. Read.
And send her out of his house.
And then you send her away. You send her out of your house. Read.
And when she is departed out of his house.
And when this woman is departed out of the house, out of his house, read.
She may go and be another man's wife.
She may go and marry again. She may go and become another man's wife. Read.
And if the latter
husband hate her, if the second husband hates her, read.
And write her a bill of divorcement.
And the second husband writes her a bill of divorcement. Read.
And give it in her hand.
And put it in her hand like, yep, read.
And send her and send her out of his house.
And sends her away, read.
Or if the latter husband dies.
Or if the latter husband died. Or if her second husband dies, read.
Which took her to be his wife. Her former husband, which sent her away, may not take her again to be his wife.
Her former husband may not take her again to be his wife. That woman can never marry again. She can never marry again. She's not even able to marry her former husband again. She's going to have to stay single. Why? Keep reading.
After that, she is defiled.
Because she's defiled. For a woman to be with more than two men, she's defiled. For a woman to be with two men, she's defiled. More than two men, she's defiled. Keep reading.
For that is abomination before the Lord.
That is what?
An abomination before the Lord.
It's an abomination before the Lord for a woman to keep bouncing from dude to dude to dude to dude. That is abomination before the Lord. Disgusting sickness before the Lord. Read.
And thou shalt not cause the land to sin, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for inheritance.
Let's go back to the book of Matthew chapter 5. Matthew 5 and 31 again.
The book of St. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 31. It hath been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorce.
It was said in time past that whosoever will put away his wife, let him give her a bill of divorcement in her hand and send her out of his house. That's what was said in times past. Keep reading.
But I say unto you.
What Christ say?
But I say unto you. That whosoever should put away his wife.
Christ said, but I say unto you, that whosoever shall put away his wife, read. Saving means accept, read.
For the cause of fornication.
Saving or accept for the cause of fornication, read.
Causes her to commit adultery.
You caused her to commit adultery. If you put away your wife for any reason other than fornication, you caused her to commit adultery, read.
And whosoever shall marry her.
And whosoever marries this woman that was put away for any reason other than adultery, for any reason other than fornication, read.
That is divorce, committeth adultery.
That man committeth adultery as well. That man committeth adultery as well. Give me the book of Matthew 19. Give me Matthew chapter 19. Let's start at verse 3. Matthew 19 and 3.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 19, starting at verse 3. The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause?
The Pharisees came to Christ and they asked, Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause or for any reason? Keep reading.
Verse 4. And he answered and said unto them.
And Christ answered and said what unto them?
Have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female?
Have you not read that he that made them in the beginning, in the Genesis, made them male and female? Keep reading.
And said, For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife.
For this cause, man leaves father and mother, and cleaves to his wife. Read.
And they twain.
And they two. They two. Read.
Shall be one flesh.
Become one flesh. Read.
Wherefore, they are no more twain.
Wherefore they are no more two individuals. They are no more two. Keep reading.
But one flesh.
But they are one flesh. Keep reading.
What therefore God has joined together.
Whatsoever therefore God hath joined together between male and female, man and woman. Read.
Let not man put asunder.
Let no man divide or pull apart or come in between. Keep reading, priest.
They said unto him, why did Moses then command it to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away?
Here come the Pharisees again. Another question. Well, if that's true, then why did Moses allow us to do it? Why did Moses allow us to give our wives bills of divorcement and put them away then? Keep reading, priest.
Verse 8. And he said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts.
Because of what?
Because of the hardness of your hearts, suffer you to put away your wives. But from the beginning, it was not so.
Moses, because of the hardness of your heart, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered it to be so. You know, hold this. Go back to Deuteronomy 24 because we read it earlier today. Let's see what let's see where the hardness of the heart came in at or comes in at. Deuteronomy 24. Let's read verse 1.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24, verse 1.
Read.
When a man have taken a wife and married her,
Read.
and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes.
This is the hardness of the man's heart right here. It comes to pass she finds no favor in his eyes. Keep reading.
Because he has found some uncleanness in her.
Because he hath found some uncleanness in her. Read.
Let him write her a bill of divorce.
Then let him write her a bill of divorcement. This is the hardness of the heart of man. This is the hardness of the heart of man. Drop that. Let's go back to the book of Matthew 19. Matthew chapter 19, and let's read verse 8 again.
The book of St. Matthew chapter 19 and verse 8. And he said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffer you to put away your wives. But from the beginning,
read.
It was not so.
But from the beginning, from the Genesis, when God made male and female, when God made Adam and Eve, there was no such thing as putting away. There was no such thing as divorce at that time. Hold this and give me the book of Malachi chapter 2. And do you know why there was no such thing as divorce in the beginning? In the Genesis? Give me the book of Malachi chapter 2 and verse 16.
The book of St. Malachi chapter 2, starting at verse 16. For the Lord, the God of Israel, saith that he hateth putting away.
The Lord God of Israel hates putting away. In my other Bible, I got an annotation next to putting away. And you know where it leads you to? Deuteronomy 24 and 1. It leads you right to Deuteronomy 24 and 1. The Lord God of Israel hates divorce, yo. He hates putting away. Read it again.
For the Lord, the God of Israel, saith that he hateth putting away.
Our God hates putting away. But God permitted Moses to allow us to do so because of the hardness of our hearts. Keep reading.
For one covereth violence with his garment.
The putting away of your wife because of the hardness of your heart is like covering violence with your garment. It's like doing violence to the woman that you promised to protect. It's like doing evil to the woman that you promised to protect with your life, with your substance. Keep reading, priest.
With his garment, saith the Lord of hosts.
And that's thus saith the Lord of hosts. Keep reading.
Therefore, take heed to your spirit.
Therefore, you better take heed, yo. You better take your own spirit in consideration. Consider your own spirit, read.
Take heed to your spirit, that ye deal not treacherously.
You better take heed to your spirit that ye deal not treacherously with your wife, yo. To deal treacherously is to deal deceitfully. To deal deceitfully or to deal treacherously with your wife is to divorce her or put her away because she finds no favor in your eyes. And because you found uncleanness in her. To deal treacherously with your wife is to put her away for any reason, saving or except for fornication. That's what it means to deal treacherously with her. And just for the women, because I know some women out there going to be like, well, what about us? What about our divorce? We'll get that next. Give me Matthew 19 again. Give me Matthew 19. Matthew chapter 19. And let's read verse 8 again. You know what? I just thought about something. I almost forgot about something. The putting away of your wife is not honorable, yo. That's not honorable. But we read earlier that Christ came to magnify the law and to make it honorable. Question to those who may watch this later on. What is honorable in all according to the scriptures? Give me that real quick, priest. What is honorable in all according to the scriptures, yo? Let's get that. Give me Hebrews 13.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13, starting at verse 4.
Read.
Marriage is honorable in all.
Read that thing again.
Marriage
Read.
is honorable in all.
Marriage is honorable in all things, yo. Marriage is honorable in all things in the eyes of God. But in order for marriage to be honorable, there can't be a putting away. In order for marriage to be honorable, there can't be a putting away, saving or except for the cause of fornication on your wife's side. Remember, Christ came to magnify the law and to make it honorable. He's magnifying the law on marriage and divorce right here. In Matthew chapter 5, in Matthew chapter 19, he's magnifying the law on marriage right here. He's magnifying the law on divorce right here. Not only is he magnifying this thing, though, he's making it honorable. He's making it honorable again. Go back to the book of Matthew chapter 19, yo. Verse 8. Go on.
The book of St. Matthew chapter 19 and verse 8. He said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffer you to put away your wives. But from the beginning, from the Genesis, read. But from the beginning, it was not so.
From the beginning, it was not so. Why? Because God hates putting away. He hated putting away in the beginning. He hates putting away now. He's going to hate the idea of putting away in the future. Can you read?
And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife.
Christ said, I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, read. Except or saving, read.
Except it be for fornication.
Except it be for fornication, read.
And shall marry another.
And this man go marry another woman, read.
Commit adultery.
That man committed adultery, read.
And whosoever marrieth her which is put away.
And whosoever marrieth the woman that was put away, read.
Committeth adultery.
That man has committed adultery. That man has committed adultery. So let's go from there. Let's go back to the book of Matthew chapter 5. Yo, Matthew chapter 5. Well, we're going through these magnified laws. Priest, you got something you want to add?
Oh, man. It's a good lesson, man.
All praises to the Most High. Matthew chapter 5. Let's start at verse 33.
All right. 33. The book of St. Matthew, chapter 5, verse 33. Again, ye have heard that it have been said by them of old time.
Read.
Thou shalt not forswear thyself.
To forswear is to swear falsely or perjure yourself. To forswear is to swear falsely. Can you read?
But shall perform unto the Lord thine oath.
But thou shalt perform unto the Lord all thine oaths. You have heard of old time, thou shalt not forswear thyself. Thou shalt not forswear thyself. Where do we hear that of old time? Where does that go back to? Where does it go back to? Go back, give me Exodus, yo. Give me Exodus. Exodus 20 again. Exodus chapter 20 and give me verse 7.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, starting at verse 7. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. What does it mean to take the name of the Lord thy God in vain? Hold this. Give me Leviticus 19. Give me Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 12. What does it mean to take the name of the Lord thy God in vain? Bring it out.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 12.
Read.
And ye shall not swear by my name falsely.
To take the name of the Lord thy God in vain is to forswear thyself. To take the name of the Lord thy God in vain is to swear falsely by his name. Read it again.
And ye should not swear by my name falsely.
Read.
Neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord.
To take his name in vain is to forswear thyself, or to swear by his name falsely. To take his name in vain is to profane the name of the Lord thy God. Go back to Exodus chapter 20 and read verse 7. And all that do so, read.
The book of Exodus chapter 20 verse 7. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain.
Thou shalt not forswear thyself. Thou shalt not swear by his name falsely. Thou shalt not profane the name of the Lord thy God. And all that do so need to hear this. Read.
For the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
The Lord will not hold any man or woman guiltless that taketh his name in vain. So all that I swear to God, all that I'm on God, or it's on God or on God, you need to know the Lord ain't gonna hold you guiltless, yo, if you are not performing that oath. He will not hold you guiltless. Matter of fact, yeah, give me Numbers 30. Give me Numbers 30. Let's go there. Let's go to Numbers chapter 30 and verse 1.
The book of Numbers, chapter 30 and verse 1. And Moses spake unto the heads of the tribes concerning the children of Israel, saying, This is the thing which the Lord hath commanded.
Read.
If a man vow a vow unto the Lord,
If any man vow a vow unto the Lord, read.
or swear an oath to bind his soul,
Or swear an oath to bind his soul, read.
he shall not break his word.
That man shall not break his word, read.
He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth.
He shall do according to all that comes out of his mouth. Whatever words come out of your mouth for your vow or for your oath or for your swear, you're going to do everything that proceedeth out of your mouth, yo. Everything that proceeds out of your mouth. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of the story with Jephthah. It reminds me of the story with Jephthah. Whenever y'all get to read it, it's about Jephthah, of course, who rose up to be a judge over Israel. And you can read it in Judges 11. Jephthah was going to war with Ammon. So Jephthah vowed a vow to the Lord. He said, Lord, if you deliver these Ammonites into my hand, yo, when I get home to celebrate this victory and peace, I'm going to sacrifice an offering of the first thing that walks across my door, that walks across the threshold of my door. And you know what the first thing was that walked across the threshold of his door? His daughter, yo. Yep. His daughter. And Jephthah had to sacrifice his daughter. Jephthah had to make that offering that he vowed to the Lord. You know why? Because, read verse 2 again. Read Numbers 30 and 2 again.
If a man vow a vow unto the Lord,
Jephthah vowed a vow unto the Lord, read.
Or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond.
Jephthah swore an oath and bound his soul with a bond, read.
He shall not break his word.
Jephthah was not able to break his word. He had to do what? Read.
He shall do according to all that proceeded out of his mouth.
He had to do according to all that proceeded out of his mouth. You know, my sons, they asked me, they said, Dad, because we read the story, they said, Dad, well, why is that story written there? Why did that happen? That's a very easy answer. It's a very easy answer. We're going to get that. As a matter of fact, let's get the answer now. Let's jump the gun. Hold that and get Romans 15 and 4. This is the reason why the story of Jephthah is written in Judges 11. His story is written there for us as a people today. Give me the book of Romans chapter 15 and 4. We're going to come right back to Numbers 30.
The book of Romans chapter 15 verse 4.
Read.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime,
all the things of history that are written in this Bible, all the things of time past that are written in this Bible were written for what?
Were written for our learning.
All these things were written for our education, our edification, and our learning. The story of Jephthah, that's a story that is meant to learn from. That's a story that you are supposed to use and learn from, yo. You're supposed to learn from that story. Let's go back to the book of Numbers chapter 30. Numbers chapter 30, and let's read verse 2 again. We're going to read down.
Alright. The book of Numbers, chapter 30. He said start at 2 again.
God.
Alright. If a man vow a vow unto the Lord, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth.
He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth. And if he doesn't do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth, that man just forswore himself. Or that man just took the name of the Lord in vain. Keep reading.
Verse 3. If a woman also vow a vow unto the Lord, and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth.
This is talking about a young woman in her father's house, in her youth. Read.
And her father hear her vow, and her bond wherewith she have bound her soul.
Read.
And her father shall hold his peace at her.
Read.
Then all her vows shall stand.
All her vows shall stand. If her father hears her vow and he holds his peace, he says nothing, all this young girl's or young woman's vows shall stand. Keep reading.
Then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she has bound her soul shall stand.
Every bond wherewith she has bound her soul shall stand. Read.
Verse 5.
No, because her father disallowed her not. Because her father disallowed her. Keep reading. Verse 5. Never mind. Verse 5. Bring it out. I'm looking down. Bring it out, priest.
But if her father disallow her.
Read.
But if her father disallow her in the day. Hold on, please.
I'm going to pick it up. But if her father disallow her in the day that he heareth, not any of her vows or of her bonds wherewith she hath bound her soul shall stand, but the Lord shall forgive her, because her father disallowed it. This is showing you the power that a father has over his daughter. A father has power with God over his daughter. If he wants to disallow any foolish oath or bond that his daughter made, he can easily do that. He can easily do that by just saying it, by just speaking it to the Lord. This shows you the power that the father has over his daughter. Keep reading, priest.
We have verse 6.
God.
Verse 6. And if she have at all an husband.
This is talking about a grown woman, a married woman, a grown married woman. Read.
When she vow or utter aught out of her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, and her husband heard it.
And her husband hears it. Read.
And held his peace.
And he holds his peace at her. Read.
In the day that he heard it.
In the same day in which he heard her say whatever she said to bind her soul. Read.
Then her vow shall stand.
Her vow will stand. Read.
And her bond wherewith she bound her soul shall stand.
And her bonds wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. Keep reading.
But if her husband disallows.
But if her husband disallows her. Read it again.
But if her husband disallowed her on the day that he heard it, then he shall make her vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered with her lips, wherewith she bound her soul of none effect.
Read.
And the Lord shall forgive
This
her.
shows you the power that the husband has over the wife. The husband has the power to void his wife's stupid requests or stupid vows or stupid oaths. That shows you the power that the husband has over the wife. Keep reading, priest.
But every vow of a widow.
But every vow of a widow is a woman whose husband is dead. Keep reading.
And of her that is divorced.
A divorced woman is a woman that's been put away. Keep reading.
Wherewith they have bound their soul.
When they bind their souls, read.
Shall stand against her.
Everything they do stands against them. They have no man to disannul or disallow it. Keep reading.
And if she vow in her husband's house.
And if she vows in her husband's house, a married woman, read.
Or bound her soul by a bond with an oath.
Read.
And her husband heard it, and held his peace at her, and disallowed her not. Then
of her vows stand. Read.
And every bond wherewith she bound her soul shall stand.
Read.
But if her husband have utterly made them void,
If the husband has disannulled,
the day he heard them,
if the husband has disannulled her oaths or her vows on the day that he heard them, read.
then whatsoever proceedeth out of her lips,
Then whatever comes out of her mind, whatever comes out of her mouth, read.
concerning her vows,
Concerning her vows, read.
or concerning the bond of her soul,
Or concerning the bond of her soul, read.
shall not stand.
That doesn't stand. The husband has power with God over his wife, yo.
Her husband have made them void,
Her husband have made them void. He has disannulled and disallowed it,
and
read.
the Lord shall forgive her.
And the Lord shall forgive her, read.
Every vow and every binding oath,
Every vow and every binding oath, read.
to afflict the soul,
To afflict the soul, read.
her husband may establish
Her
it,
husband may establish that thing, read.
or her husband may make it void.
Or he may void it or disannul it or disallow it. Keep reading.
But if her husband altogether hold his peace at her from day to day,
But if her husband doesn't say anything, if he holds his peace from day to day, read.
then he established all her vows
He establishes all of her vows with his silence, read.
and all of her bonds
He establishes all of her bonds with his silence, read.
which are upon her.
Which are upon his wife, read.
He confirmeth them,
His silence confirms it, read.
because he held his peace
Told you, read.
at her in the day that he heard them.
Read.
But if he shall any ways make them void after that he have heard them,
If he anyways makes them void after he heard them, read.
then he shall bear her
That
iniquity.
man has to bear her iniquity. If he didn't make them void in the day that he heard it, you can't do it later. Keep reading.
Verse 16. These are the statutes which the Lord commanded Moses between a man and his wife,
Read.
between the father and his daughter,
Mm-hmm.
being yet in her youth and her father's house.
Let's go back to the book of Matthew chapter 5. Matthew chapter 5, and let's read verse 33 again.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 33.
Bring it out.
Again, ye have heard that it hath been said by them of old time, thou shalt not forswear thyself.
You have heard that it was said, thou shalt not forswear thyself, or thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Keep reading.
but shall perform unto the Lord thine oath.
But thou shalt perform thy oath, or thy vow, or thy swear, or whatever proceedeth out of thy mouth. Thou shalt perform it. Keep reading.
But I say unto you,
What Christ say?
swear not at all,
Christ said, but I say unto you, swear not at all. Read.
neither by heaven,
Neither by the heaven. Read.
for it is God
For it is what?
throne,
It is God's throne. Read.
nor by the earth,
Nor by the earth. Read.
for it is his footstool.
Because the earth is his footstool. Read.
Neither by Jerusalem,
Neither by Jerusalem. You can't say put it on my mama either. And I know people wondering, why you get to Jerusalem and say you can't say put it on my mama? Well, in case you didn't know, Jerusalem is the mother of us all.
bring it out.
We don't want to hear that. Put it on my mama, son. No, you don't put it on Jerusalem. Straight up.
Don't put on your father, put on your
You know
mama.
what I'm talking about? Read that part again. What?
On my mama.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm talking about? On my mama. You be hearing brothers say that? You hear
Hey,
brothers
look.
say, on my mama.
Hey, look, just a sidebar. If my mom get mad, I always tell people, oh man, on my daddy. My mom be like,
Hell no. Disrespectful.
hey, girl, you know why? My mom be like, why you always talk about your dad? Cause yeah, disrespectful. Cause I be talking here. Cause I say, man, most people hate their dads.
All right, bring it out. Most people do. Where we at?
Verse 30.
35 again.
35. Nor by the earth,
Don't swear by the earth, read.
for it is his
The
footstool.
earth is the Lord's footstool, read.
Neither by Jerusalem,
Don't swear by Jerusalem, which is the mother of us all, read.
for it is the city of the great King.
Jerusalem is the city of the great King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, Jesus Christ himself. Keep reading.
Neither shall thy swear by thy
You
head,
can't even swear by your own head, read.
because thou cannot make one hair white or black.
You can't make one hair white or black. When you get my age and your hair start turning white, you can't make it black again. Not on your own. I mean, you got to go get some Just for Men or something. I mean, some hair dye or something. But outside of that, you can't change it back. So there's no reason for you to swear on your own head. Keep reading. verse 37.
Verse 37. But let your communication be yea, yea.
Instead, let your communication be with a simple yes, read.
Nay, nay.
Or with a simple no. Keep reading.
For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil.
For whatsoever is more than just a simple yes or a simple no cometh evil, yo. Let your communication be with a simple yes or a simple no. We are not to swear today. We are not to swear today. Where we at? Let's read
38.
Let's read 38. Let's go ahead and go straight into it then.
38. Ye have heard that it have been said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth.
We heard that it's been said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Let's get that real quick. Give me that in Leviticus. Leviticus 24:19. We heard in old times it's been said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But if you haven't heard it, you're in luck, because we're going to read it for you today. Leviticus 24, let's start at 19.
All right. The book of Leviticus 24, starting at verse 19. And if a man causeth a blemish in his neighbor.
If a man cause any blemish in his neighbor, read.
As he have done
As
so,
that man have done, read.
so shall it be done to him.
So shall it be done to him. Keep reading.
Breach for a breach.
That's a breach for a breach.
Eye for eye.
That's an eye for an eye, read.
Tooth for a tooth.
That's tooth for tooth, read.
As he have caused a blemish in a man, so shall it be done to him.
As he have caused a blemish in a man, so shall it be done to him again. Let's get an example of that. Give me Exodus 21. Let's get an example of that. Exodus 21, and let's read verse 22. Exodus 21 and 22.
The book of Exodus, chapter 21, starting at verse 22.
Bring it out, priest.
If a man strive,
If men strive,
excuse me, if men strive
uh-huh.
and hurt a woman
If men strive and hurt a woman, what?
with child,
If men are striving and they hurt a woman with child, a pregnant woman, read.
so that her fruit depart from her,
And her fruit, being her child, departs from her, meaning she has, a miscarriage. A miscarriage. Keep reading.
and yet no mischief follows.
And yet no mischief follow means nothing further happens to the woman. Nothing else happens to the woman. Only the fruit of her womb miscarries. Read.
He shall be surely punished.
That man will be punished. Read.
According as the woman husband will lay upon him.
According to the will of the woman's husband. Keep reading.
And he shall pay.
And he going what?
And he shall pay.
And he going to pay. He's going to pay. Read.
As the judge determines.
He's going to pay as the judge determines. Read.
And if any mischief follows.
But this is the flip side. If you hurt the pregnant woman and she has a miscarriage, but also some mischief happens to the woman, something extra happens to the woman, read.
Then thou shalt give life for a life.
If you striving, two men are striving, and something happens to a woman and she has a miscarriage, and then you accidentally kill her in the process as well, the Bible says it goes life for life. Keep reading. Verse 24.
Eye for eye.
It goes eye for eye. Keep reading.
Tooth for tooth.
A tooth for a tooth.
Hand for hand.
The hand for hand. Read.
Foot for foot.
Foot for foot. Read.
Burning for burning.
Burning for burning. Read.
Wound for wound.
And wound for wound. Read.
Strike for strike.
Strike for strike. Give me Deuteronomy 19. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 19. I want Deuteronomy chapter 19. Let's start at verse 15.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, starting at verse 15. One witness shall not raise up against a man for any iniquity.
One witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity. Read.
Or for any sin. And any sin that he sinneth.
Read.
At the mouth of two witnesses.
At the mouth of two witnesses. Read.
Or at the mouth of three.
Or at the mouth of three witnesses. Read.
Shall the matter be established.
Shall every matter be established. Keep reading.
If a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him, that which is wrong,
read.
Then both the men between whom the controversy is, shall stand before the Lord,
read.
Before the priest,
read.
and the judges.
And the judges, read.
Which shall be in those days.
Which shall be in those days. Keep reading.
And the judges shall make diligent inquisition.
And the judges shall make diligent inquisition. They shall do a diligent investigation. Read.
And behold, if the witness be a false witness.
If they discover that the witness is a false witness, read.
And has testified falsely against his brother.
If they discover that the witness has testified falsely against his brother, read.
Then shall ye do unto him.
Then shall ye what?
Then ye shall do unto him.
Then ye shall do unto him, read.
As he have taught, he hath thought to have done unto his brother.
Then shall ye do unto him as he thought to do unto his brother. Keep reading.
So shalt thou put the evil away from among you.
So shalt thou put evil away from among you. Read.
And those which remain shall hear and fear, and shall henceforth commit no more any such evil among you.
Read.
And thy eye shall not pity.
Thy eye shall not pity. Read.
But life shall go for life.
But life shall go for life. Read.
Eye for eye.
Eye shall go for eye. Read.
Tooth for tooth.
Tooth shall go for tooth. Read.
Hand for hand.
And hand shall go for hand. Read.
Foot for foot.
And foot shall go for foot. Go back to the book of Matthew chapter 5. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 38 again. We are actually almost done. I think, let me see something real quick. Yeah, we're actually going to stop here. This is going to be the last magnified law we are going to do. So let's read this one again.
All right. Verse 38. Ye have heard that it have been said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth.
And a foot for a foot, and a wound for a wound, and a stripe for a stripe, and a burn for a burn. You have heard that, right? We just read that. Keep reading.
But I say unto you.
Christ said what?
But I say unto you that ye resist not evil.
Christ said that ye resist not evil. He said withstand or counter the evil or the evildoer. Keep reading.
But whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also.
Whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also. Counter the evil or counter the evildoer. Give me the book of Proverbs chapter 25. Salakia, Proverbs 24. Let's read that one first. Proverbs 24 and 29. Proverbs 24 and 29.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 24 and 29. Say not, I will do so to him, or as he have done to me.
What is this? Who is this talking about? Jump up to 28.
28. Be not a witness against thy neighbor without cause.
We're talking about our neighbor. Keep reading.
And deceive not with thy lips.
Keep reading.
Say not.
Say not, read.
I will do so to him.
Say not, I will do to my neighbor, read.
As he have done to me.
As my neighbor has done to me. Keep reading.
I will render to the man according to his works.
Say not, I will render to the man according to his works. We are not to go tit for tat, yo. We are not to go tit for tat. Instead, jump over to chapter 25 and read verse 21.
Proverbs 25 and 21. If thy enemy be hungry. If thy enemy.
If your enemy, read.
Be hungry.
If your enemy be hungry, your enemy is the one who presents himself, is the enemy of your brother, the enemy of your people. The one who presents himself as an evildoer, or the one who does evil against you. This is your enemy. Read it again.
If thy enemy be hungry, give him bread to eat. And if he be thirsty.
And if your enemy be thirsty, read.
Give him water to drink.
Give him water to drink. This is what it means to turn the other cheek, yo. This is what it means to turn the other cheek. To turn the other cheek is to overcome evil with good. To turn the other cheek is to resist evil, yo. To resist the evil is to withstand the evil. And to counter the evil, or to counter the evildoer. How do you counter the evil? How do you counter the evildoer? Read it again. Verse 21.
If thy enemy be hungry.
This is how you counter the evil. This is how you counter the evildoer. Read it again.
If thy enemy be hungry.
Do what?
Give him bread to eat.
If your enemy is hungry, yo, you give him bread to eat, man. You counter his hatred, his evil with good by giving him bread to eat. Keep reading, priest.
And if he be thirsty,
if your enemy is thirsty, read.
give him water
You
to drink.
give him water to drink, read.
For thou shalt heap coals of fire upon his head.
In doing so, you will heap coals of fire upon that man's head, read.
And the Lord shall reward thee.
And the Lord shall reward thee. Give me Romans chapter 12. And give me Romans chapter 12, yeah. Romans chapter 12 and verse 17. Romans 12 and verse 17. We are to go tit for tat with our brothers. We are to turn the other cheek. To turn the other cheek. Read this real quick.
The book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 17. Recompense to no man evil for evil.
Recompense to no man evil for evil. Say not, I will do unto him as he has done unto me. Read it again.
Recompense to no man evil for evil.
Recompense to no man evil for evil. Read.
Provide things honest in the sight of all men.
Instead, provide things honest in the sight of all men. Instead, counter the evil. Counter the evildoer. Counter the evildoer by providing things honest in the sight of all men. Jump down to verse 19.
Verse 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves.
Don't avenge yourselves. Read.
But rather give place unto wrath.
Instead, give place unto wrath. Give place unto wrath. Read.
For it is written.
For it is written what?
Vengeance is mine.
Uh-huh.
I will repay.
Read.
Saith the Lord.
Vengeance belongs to the Lord. Keep reading.
20. Therefore, if thy enemies hunger,
If your enemy hunger, read.
feed him.
If your enemy hunger, feeds him. Yo, give him some bread. Read.
If he thirst,
If your enemy thirst, read.
give him drink.
Give him some water. Give him something to drink. Read.
For in so doing,
For in doing this, read.
thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head.
You're going to heap coals of fire on his head. Read.
Be not overcome of evil.
Don't be overcome with evil. Resist not the evil. Be not overcome with the evil. Read.
But overcome evil with good.
But overcome evil with good. Turn the other cheek. Turn the other cheek. 1 Thessalonians 5. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 15. And we're almost done. One more scripture out after this and we are finished. Give me the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and I want verse 15.
The book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 15. See that none render evil for evil.
See that none render evil for evil. Read.
Unto any man.
Unto any man. Read.
But ever follow that which is good.
But ever follow that which is good. To turn the other cheek is that which is good. Keep reading.
Both among yourselves.
Among yourselves, meaning amongst the brethren, read.
And to all men.
And amongst all men. Let's get 1 Peter chapter 3. 1 Peter chapter 3, and we're going to close out here. 1 Peter chapter 3, 8 and 9. And we are going to close out here.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 3, starting at verse 8. Finally, be ye all of one mind.
Finally, be ye all of one mind. Read.
Having compassion one of another.
Having compassion on one another. Read.
Love as brothers.
We have to learn how to love as brethren. Read.
Be pitiful.
We have to learn how to be pitiful. To have pity one for another. Read.
Be courteous.
We have to learn how to operate with courtesy amongst one another. Read.
Not rendering evil for evil.
Not rendering evil for evil. Yo, it's not love if you're rendering evil for evil. You don't love your brethren if you're doing that. Keep reading.
Or railing for railing.
There's no railing for railing. You don't love your brother if you're railing for railing. If you're going railing for railing. Keep reading.
Contrariwise.
But contrariwise. But contrariwise. Contrariwise. On the other hand, read.
Contrariwise blessings.
You render blessings. Read.
Knowing that ye are thereunto called.
Knowing that you are thereunto called. Read.
That ye should inherit a blessing.
That ye should inherit a blessing, yo. So with that was the end of the Magnified Law. There's some more in Matthew 5. But the other ones I want to do, shape a class around them jumps. You know what I'm talking about? But I ain't got nothing else to say. Though. With me, I'm done with the class. You got something you want to add, Priest?
Go ahead and close it out, man.
All praises to the Most High. Well, I'm going to close out. Well, we're going to close out the same way we begin. No other way to close out. No better way to begin. No better way to close out than to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob through his only begotten Son, Jesus the Christ. Secondly, I want to say to all my brothers and sisters out there, man, shalom, shalom, shalom from the Holy Nation of Israel, yo. Straight up.
Shalom, Israel.
Find us, check us out on Strait of Israel on YouTube. Check us out on Holy Nation of Israel on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook at Lithiel Ben Israel.
And Jacob was left alone.
Oh, my bad, Free. Oh, Ron Ben Israel.
You can find the brother on Facebook at Ron Ben Israel, yo. Straight up. So, with that, man, I'm going to say shalom. I hope the lesson was edifying. I hope somebody learned something out there. Shalom, people. Shalom, fam.